The Honda Fit and Ford Fiesta, two cars adored by the young thrusters, go head to head in a 5-category comparison. I'm your host, Alistair Weaver, and I'm joined by two men who were once both young and thrusting. Representing the Ford Fiesta is Mike Monticello. Championing the Honda Fit is Jay Kavanagh. The first category up is fun to drive. Mike, the Fiesta's always been a hoot, right?
Yeah, it sure has. I mean, the Fiesta is the driver's car of this segment with quick steering, well-tuned suspension. Unlike the Fit, the Fiesta is actually fun to take through a corner. Now, the 4-cylinder isn't totally inspiring, but the 1-liter 3-cylinder makes these fun growling sounds, and the turbo just adds to the excitement. The twin-clutch transmission in the Fiesta can be shifted manually, not in the way we're used to. It has this weird rocker switch, but it does blip the throttle on downshifts.
Well, the Honda Fit's all new this year, and it's come a long way from the previous kind of darty Fit. The steering has been vastly improved, and it feels much more stable and planted, but it's still really tossable and nimble. Now, is it as much fun as the Fiesta to put through a corner, like Mike says? Probably not, but the Fiesta with the DCT is really not a lot of fun. It's slow shifting, and the CVT in the Fit is actually a whole lot better.
So for me, this is all about your choice of transmission. If you really want a fun-to-drive subcompact, choose the Fiesta, but choose it with a manual gearbox. 1 point to the Ford. Moving on to comfort, Jay, is the Honda Fit for chilling?
For chilling? Well, in a way, for sure, because the Fit's got this ingenious packaging, and really all of its comfort stems from just how vast and huge it is inside. In the front, there's about the same amount of room in the Fit as there is in the Fiesta, but in the back seat, it's just no comparison. There's 8 inches more legroom in the Fit than the Fiesta, so for backseat passengers, you're living in the lap of luxury. And the Fit has this really low belt line and slim pillars and a huge greenhouse, so visibility is just outstanding.
It's true the Fiesta can't match the Fit in terms of sheer interior volume, and its seats are a little short on padding. But according to our sound measurements, the Fiesta is considerably quieter than the Fit, whether you get the 3-cylinder or the 4-cylinder, at both 70 mph cruising and full throttle acceleration. Floor the throttle in the Fit, and its CVT gets all wound up.
So the Fiesta's quieter at speed, but you'll only really get comfortable in the back of the Honda, which gets my point. So Mike, what about the rest of the Fiesta's interior?
Well, I don't think either one of us is super thrilled about the control layouts in either car. The Fiestas it's high on form but kind of low on function. It's a little hard to decipher some of the controls. But this car is really easy to get in and out of, especially considering how small it is. The rear entryway is a little tight. It takes some contorting or contortionism. I don't know if either one of those is a word. But also the Fiesta is a really easy car to see out of. It doesn't come with a backup camera, and you know what? It doesn't need it.
Okay, nothing in this segment can touch the Fit's interior volume. There's more cargo space behind the back seat, and when the back seat's folded, there's more than twice the cargo room in the Fit than in the Fiesta. Now, we've not been super impressed by Honda's latest touchscreen, but all of the cabin appointments have been nicely upgraded in this new Fit. And come on, the Fit's magic back seat, it's so versatile, it can be configured so many different ways that the Fiesta can't, that it's really no comparison.
For me, calling it magic is probably stretching the point a bit far, but there's no denying that the Honda's rear seats are incredibly clever and the trunk's huge, so it gets another point. Now Jay, these kind of cars are generally bought by people on a bit of a tight budget, so how much value does the Fit offer me?
Well, you do pay a little bit more for the Fit than you do for the Fiesta, but when you look at the total value equation that the Fit offers, from its cargo space to the fuel economy to the clever touches, the Fit is really the car to beat in this class. Now, some of the touch points in the Fit are harder than they are in the Fiesta, but the features list in the Honda is really impressive. You get a standard backup camera, whether you need it or not, and it has an optional lane watch system, which basically puts a camera on the side view mirror. It's really clever. And also, let's not forget about fuel economy. The Fit's 36 mpg combined beats all other Fiestas, irrespective of transmission, and it ties the EcoBoost Fiesta, which is only available with a manual.
I don't even know what irrespective means. But you know, Jay did make some good points for me. Like the Fiesta starts at about $14,000, which is $2,000 less than the Fit. And that's a big savings in this class. And the 1-liter 3-cylinder has an EPA highway rating of 45 mpg, which is several miles per gallon better than the Fit. And the Fiesta also comes with complimentary roadside assistance for 5 years, 60,000 miles.
For me, there's a clear winner in this category, and it is the Ford. So it's all down to our final category of performance. Mike, make your final plea for the Fiesta.
Well, I'll admit that the fit has gotten pretty quick, and it's about a half second quicker to 60 miles per hour than the regular Fiesta 4-cylinder. But the new 1-liter 3-cylinder turbo did 60 mph in just 8.9 seconds, which is only a tenth slower than the fit. Now, unfortunately, it's only available with a manual transmission. Fine for me. I don't know about the rest of the world. Now, Jay is going to tell you that the twin clutch in the Fiesta 4-cylinder is a bit jerky and low speed, and that's true. It's a bit of a bummer that Ford hasn't fixed that yet, but once you get rolling, I actually prefer it with its has very quick shifts and none of the high RPM droning that the Fit CVT does.
Look, Mike, we got to compare the volume sellers in this class of car, and that's going to be the automatic transmissions, whether it's the DCT in the Fiesta or the CVT in the Fit. And when you do that, you'll see, like you said, that the Fit is significantly quicker 0 to 60, and it's a difference you can feel just driving around at town. You pointed out also that the DCT is a little bit indecisive, and I totally agree. It's easily confused, whereas the CVT and the Fit, it always seems to be doing the right thing at the right time. And it has paddle shifters on the steering wheel, which you don't get in the Fiesta.
Now, in days gone by, the Ford would have monstered this category, but Honda's come fighting back, and it nicks the final point. So, Jay wins with 3 points. Mike is the bitter loser with 2. So that's how I've scored it, but tell us, what do you think? Would you choose the Fit or the Fiesta? Be sure to click here for full reviews of the Fiesta and the Fit, and subscribe to the Edmunds channel for all the latest videos.